Hey guys, welcome back. C310 featured by Alessandro Pantoja versus Kai Asakura, also featuring Shavkat Rachmanov versus Ian Garry. I actually think it's a really good card. The prelims are really good. I mean, the main event, whatever, but top to bottom, really good card. Let's break it down. Let's get right into it. First fight of the night, we got Kennedy Nchekukwu versus Brzeski. Kennedy coming in at minus 550 seems warranted to me. Sure, he has been KO'd before. I mean, maybe he can get rocked here early. That's the only way he loses this fight. If he gets caught, sure, I guess anybody can lose if they get caught. But more times than not, he should win this fight by knockout, probably first or second round. So give me Kennedy to finish the fight. There's no props on inside the distance, but I'm not playing minus 550. What do you think?
Yeah, Kennedy should win this fight. I think it's another layup for him at heavyweight, like his last fight there, which was a layup for him. It was against the fat guy. I forgot, Chris Barnett, I think it was. So I think it's another layup. Like Lucas Brzeski, like he's okay standing, but he can be taken down, and Kennedy won't take him down though. I know that, and I think at the range is what he'll beat him on, and Brzeski does tire out pretty quickly. Again, I think it's a layup for him. I think they're just trying to build his name to be something. And he is a heavyweight. At least I thought he was a heavyweight from the first time I saw him. So yeah, layup.
All right, next fight of the night, absolute mismatch. We got Clay Guida versus Chase Hooper. Obviously, of course, the whole world wants to see Clay Guida win, but he doesn't really stand a chance here. He's coming in at plus 700. Chase Hooper is now a minus 1200. And as crazy as that sounds, it's absolutely deserved or deserved. I'm sure you've seen in our other videos, I slam Chase Hooper, but the fact is he has made improvements, and this is just such an easy matchup for him. He's tapped Clay Guida out very easily in their grappling match. He should do the exact same thing here. I even think he could knock him out if he really wanted to. If he wanted to not go for the submission, I think he could knock him out even. Either way, Chase Hooper inside the distance. There's no prop yet. I'll be looking at like first round, second round. I do not see this making a third round. What do you think?
I don't see this making a second round, to be honest with you. Depends on what Chase wants to do, though. Like, if he wants to stand with him and just like, check out and try out his found striking that we saw in his last fight against Borsha, then and maybe it goes a little bit longer. If anything, Clay's still got a little bit of a chin on him. But if Chase wants to take him down and wants to grapple with him, this thing's a wash. Depends on how Chase wants to do with it. If he wants to stand with him, I think it actually can go. I think he can actually get over the 1.5 if it's a stand-up fight. And that's like Chase chooses where this goes. He chooses to pace this fight. He chooses if it stands. He chooses if it goes down to the ground. So Chase Hooper for sure. Chase Hooper for sure inside the distance. But I still don't think you're going to get a good number, though.
No, and I just think even if Hooper wants to stand, Clay Guida will just shoot a stupid takedown and expose his neck or something, anyways.
It's probably, you know what, if he chooses to stand, we should stand with him because that's his best chance at winning this fight anyway.
Next fight of the night, Michael Chiesa coming in at minus 110, Max Griffin minus 110. So the odds are a dead pick 'em right now. Um, I mean, Michael Chiesa can potentially grind out anyone that he can take down. Max Griffin has historically had pretty decent takedown defense. If Max Griffin had any kind of power whatsoever, I would be saying Max Griffin by knockout. Now, he is kind of a decision fighter. He lets way too many fights be way too close, which is kind of the fight that favors Michael Chiesa. But I still got to go Max Griffin here. Like I just think Chiesa does not like to get hit. If he can't get that takedown quickly, he's gonna look for a way out. It's crazy that I think Griffin's going to knock him out, but I think Max Griffin stops Michael Chiesa. So give me Max Griffin regardless. Minus 110. The money line's good enough for me. What do you think?
I was looking at their ages actually, and I couldn't believe Max Griffin's like 37, 38 as well as Kiesa's up there as well. So this is like a vet versus a vet fight. So I mean, Max Griffin's problem is getting put up against the cage, getting taken down. He does historically get back up, don't get me wrong, but he can be controlled for points in time. And my problem here is Chiesa, all these years and striking is still abysmal, and nothing has gotten better. And like you said, if he can't get those takedowns, what does he really have? And if he's getting those takedowns, he's not subbing him. I don't think Max gets sub quick, right? If he gets taken down, like he'll fight and he'll fight to get up, right? So that, but again, honestly, I'm leaning Max too, but I really do like the over 1.5 here. It's pretty safe, to be quite honest with you. I don't have a number yet, and it's probably going to be like minus 300 or something like that. But it's safe. I think it's a safe bet. I don't know if Max knocks out Chiesa quick time. I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think it's a prolonged bullshit, and Chiesa's known to make mistakes. And I'm leaning Max, but it's a close fight.
All right. Next fight of the night. This is actually one of my favorite fights of the night. We got Cody Durden plus 130, Joshua Van minus 160. I think this is an absolute barn burner. Um, I really wanted to pick Cody Durden because I like the way he fights. I mean, I don't think he's amazing, but he's a tough guy. I mean, he creates a crazy pace. He's good at scrambles. He likes to box to a certain degree. I mean, he's no insane striker or anything like that. But I just think his pace in general, his volume, all of those things could give Joshua Van fits. The problem I keep coming back to is just that Joshua Van has like a concrete head. Yes, he was knocked out that one time, and yes, he's taken a fuck ton of punishment. But I still think that in the long run, I still think he's more durable than Cody Durden. And I think if they both have to walk through some fire, Joshua Van will walk through it, and I'm not sure Cody Durden will. So I don't think Joshua Van gets blanketed. I think sure there might be some scrambles, but I think for the most part it's going to be on the feet. And even if and I think Durden can have success on the feet, but at some point I think Van will probably crack him and take over. So I'm on Joshua Van. I get the Cody Durden pick, and I think this is just a very fun fight. What do you think?
People like the Cody Durden pick because he's a nonstop wrestler and he likes to push guys up and take them down, but he lets everybody back up and recycle, recycle, recycle. Right? Joshua Van, though, if you look at all his fights, no one's really blanketed him. He's fought Zalgas Jumagulov, got taken down, but wasn't blanketed. He's fought some wrestlers, I think he's actually the better striker. He's definitely the better technical striker here. And what's the Cody Durden thing? He always starts fast and then slows down. Who was it last fight where he got knocked out second round? Bruno Silva
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely dummied him in the first round. But you can honestly see the slowdown in round two, right? The takedown was more labored, the punches were more labored, and the chin. I'm not calling him chinny, but like I'm just saying it can be cracked. And honestly, so Van he kind of fights at the pace of his opponent. He's more than on one occasion in 3 rounds put over 100 strikes, 100 significant strikes up. Against Jalgis, it was 120. Against Borges is a guy kind of like Durden without the wrestling, comes right at you, is aggressive. He put up 156 against him. But again, against Bunas, he only put up 83 because, that was a more technical, measured fight, right? So what do we know? We know that Durden's going to come after him. Van's gonna have the volume edge. When guys come after Van, he's a good counter striker and he's a very technical, aggressive striker as well. He lets his opponent go over the pace. So I actually think Joshua Van by knockout is in play here a lot. So I really do because it's the aggressiveness of Cody that is to his detriment sometimes. So I say Joshua Van by knockout.
I think it's gonna be an awesome fight.
Yep.
Next fight of the night, we got Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders. First time we broke down this fight, I did choose Chris Weidman. I watched back that Bruno Silva win that he got, and I rewatched Bruno Silva the fight after, and Bruno Silva is just so bad. Like I don't know what happened. He fell off. So like he was horrendous last fight, which is just making Chris Weidman's win even worse. Like I thought maybe this guy's can finally win those kind of grinding matches. And if he's fighting someone that doesn't really have big knockout power, then he should be able to win the clinch exchanges and all that. But I just find myself now flipping and going on Eric Anders by knockout. I know Eric Anders is kind of turned into someone who wants to grapple all of a sudden, which is exactly what he should not do here. He should not clinch. He should not grab the legs. He should be just going buck wild for the chin. That's what he should do. If he does it, I think he knocks out Chris Weidman. If he plays the clinch game, he probably got a close decision going either way. Obviously, Chris can win that. You got to think Chris is a more technical fighter. but I don't care. I just based off how bad I saw Bruno Silva look the last couple of fights, I'm retracting my statement on Weidman. I'm going to choose Eric Anders. I totally get the Weidman side. I think the fight's a weird fight in general, but I'm going to go with Anders. What do you think?
I'm gonna stick with Weidman because I think he by far is the better fighter, prime for prime, and I think neither of these guys are in their prime. And I'm not sure Eric Anders ever had a prime, to be quite honest with you. I'm not even joking. What is his best attribute? Is that his best attribute is swinging wildly and never catching you. You know what I mean? Or holding you up against the cage and hitting you with dirty boxing. Like his win against Jamie Pickett, he got knocked down by Jamie Pickett. I know he won the fight, but let's just take that into consideration that he got knocked down by Jamie Pickett. And as bad as Chris Weidman is of a striker, I don't think he's the greatest. I think he's a better striker than Eric Anders. And if Anders wants to try to grind him up against the side of the cage, Chris
Bad news.
Weidman's a better wrestler than Eric Anders as well. I,
I'm banking on his durability being piss poor, but
yeah,
yeah,
both of them
I
have
know it.
both of them have
It's
durability issues. Let's put it this way: Eric Anders has put together a two-fight win streak in the UFC only once in his career, or twice, sorry, in his career, and it's either been two losses or a win-loss, win-loss. And he won his last fight against Pickett, and I honestly think he didn't look that good. And Weidman won his last fight against Bruno Silva, and he looked better than I thought he would. Don't get me wrong. Not that Bruno Silva was like you broke down Bruno Silva pretty well there. I'm just gonna go with Weidman. I think he's comes from a better camp. He has got better skills, and prime for prime, he's the better fighter.
next fight of the night. I think this is another very fun prelim. Like these are great fights for prelims. Randy Brown versus Brian Battle. Randy Brown plus 187 should be the quicker, probably more technical striker and probably better submission grappler. Maybe not wrestler, but better chokes, I guess. Versus Brian Battle minus 225. Definitely power. Definitely knocks people out. Probably the better wrestler. I don't think he's the better grappler, but he's probably the better wrestler. I do favor Brian Battle just because of durability. Like I think, Randy Brown can have success being that lanky, fast sniper, but I'm not sure that he knocks Brian Battle out. And I think if Brian Battle, even if he has to eat some, eventually he cracks Randy Brown. Randy Brown does get dropped. So I will lean Brian Battle, but I don't like the odds. I don't like it at all. I don't think I'll be playing that at minus 225. I think this fight is very close to a pick 'em. I would slightly favor Brian Battle based off durability, but Randy Brown could have success here for sure. But I do think well, Randy Brown beat Zaleski. That's a good fighter. Battle beat Giussette, who I think is an underrated fighter. Yeah, I think they're both good. I think it's a great fight. Great fight. I'll slightly lean Brian Battle based off durability, but I don't like these odds. What do you think?
I think Randy's doesn't throw enough volume at some points in fights. I think he is a long, lanky striker. He likes to control the distance, and Brian Battle doesn't like you to be at distance too often. I do give the power edge to Battle. Randy doesn't seem to be stopping too many guys in his tenure here with the UFC. And I've also noticed that Randy's losses are to a little bit lankier strikers as well that come are a little bit more aggressive. If we can remember how aggressive Jack Della was when he fought him that one time, Randy couldn't really handle the aggressiveness of Jack Della in that fight. He couldn't handle Vicente Luque when he was aggressive with him in that fight as well. And if we all remember back in the day when Nico Price fought him, and Nico Price, when Nico Price had two knees, and he was a little bit aggressive back in the day. Um, he as well finished Randy Brown with punches too, right? So Randy doesn't like those aggressive strikers, and like you said, battle's known to take one in the face and come and push forward and push forward and push forward. We all know Kevin Jousset is a pretty good technical, rangy striker, kind of like Randy Brown, but I would say Randy Brown's a tiny bit better because one experience, two, he knows he's seen it all, right? You know what I mean? If Randy had a little bit more if he fought a little bit more with his jab instead of always trying to get you and get those perfect combinations, I might think this. I mean, it's a closer fight than the odds say. I do go with Battle, but I don't know if I'll bet Battle in this spot because it's a little bit high. But I don't like Randy's volume here, and I think the aggressiveness of Battle. Battle's not a bad striker either, so let's not get this.
Oh
But
no.
I do think Brian Battle can get taken down if Randy wants to employ a takedown game that he sort of went with Zaleski. I mean, our boy, what's his name? Renat took him down 11 million times. And
Brownsville
Renat's
or
not
not.
great about I do not think Renat's the greatest wrestler in the world either, right? And I don't know. I think Brian Battle can get taken down. I do think Randy Brown is actually the better grappler here. So whatever. I'm gonna go a battle because I think this all stays on the feet, and Randy's known for some dumbass IQ sometimes.
All right, next prelim of the night. I know it's crazy. This crazy. It's a prelim. We got Mavsar Evloev versus Aljo Sterling. Mavsar minus 250, Aljo plus 200. Man, I really was trying to find a way to get myself to bet Aljo here. As much as I don't like Aljo, I still think these odds are kind of disrespectful. Um, Mavsar, a lot of very close, uninspiring decisions. 8 fights in the UFC, 8-0 with 8 decisions, is yet to finish anybody. Couple of very, very close decisions. So I mean, obviously Mavsar wants to take him down and grind him out. That's his style. I mean, he is good in scrambles. I'm not going to say he's not, but it's uninspiring. He doesn't inflict a ton of damage. He's not catching submissions. So I mean, what's he going to do? Hold Aljo down for 3 rounds? I mean, it's quite possible, of course. He might. But I mean, Aljo should, on paper, be one of the best wrestlers he's fought. Should be. I mean, Aljo out wrestled Henry Cejudo for their fight, or at least he had success, whatever. Like, so is there not a world where Aljo can stuff the takedowns and pitter patter his way with leg kicks to a decision? I think either way, this fight's going the distance. And I think it's maybe I see why it's on the prelims because it has a lot of potential to be boring, but boring or not, it does have a lot of relevance to the division. So give me Mobstar by boring decision. He probably does hold him down and all that, but I don't like the minus 250 tag. It'll be interesting if Sterling can stuff the takedowns. It'll get interesting. It'll be kind of an ugly kickboxing pitter patter stand up match, but I think Mobstar probably will get the takedowns and probably will grind out another decision. What do you think?
I think the same thing. I'm not gonna break it down to anything different than that. I think he's a bigger guy, right? And he has the wrestling. So I know that they'll be like, oh, okay, Qatar was a bigger guy than Aljo, but he has zero takedown defense. Aljo actually absolutely demolished him in the wrestling and that. And Aljo's not going to shoot takedowns on Mobster. I don't think he could. It might actually be not a bad plan to do that, to be quite honest with you. You shoot before he shoots on you.
Battle
I,
of tough
I do
decision.
I do give Aljo the stand up edge in this. I think he probably does have a little bit more volume and better boxing. But how long is it going to stay there? That's the problem, right? We can go back in all those fights in Aljo. I know he has the one loss to O'Malley, but you go back to that first Peter Yan disqualification. It was 7-1 takedowns for Peter Yan, and we all know Peter Yan's not the greatest wrestler in the world. So, and that was a smaller Peter Yan, and Mobster is an absolute fucking tank, right? So that there lays in the difference. Mavsar by boring Mavsar decision. I'm going to get that minus 250 to some hopefully plus money or minus 110 or something.
All right, next fight of the night. Vicente Luque plus 130 underdog to Themba Gorimbo. That sounds funny in itself. Gorimbo coming back at minus 160. I mean, I think Luque in his prime is a million times better than Themba Gorimbo. I think he's the better striker. I think he's the better submission grappler. The only thing he probably isn't is the better wrestler, and that's probably all that's going to really matter here. Themba Gorimbo should be able to take Vicente Luque down at will. I mean, obviously, a lot of guys have had success taking down Vicente Luque, and I think Themba can too. He's just younger. He's not as damaged. I mean, I am hoping for a vicious Vicente vintage performance. Like I would love to see him just knock Themba out because I find Themba Gorimbo so goddamn boring. But I do think Gorimbo takes him down. I do think he grinds him out. I think Luque is just he's damaged. He's old. All the like the brain damage talks that we've had and brain bleeds and stuff that you're hearing. Just none of this just sounds good for Vicente Luque. Rooting for Vicente Themba Gorimbo to take him down and beat him up on the ground. That's what I predict. What do you think?
I thought the same thing, but then I looked back at his record and I looked at the guys that were able to take him down and control him, and there's only one guy that's been able to take him down and control him in his entire
Hello.
career, Bilal Muhammad. Everyone else has not been able to take him down and control him for fight. The only other person to land multiple takedowns in Vicente Luque was Rafael dos Anjos, and he landed two, but Vincente landed eight, and he lost that fight. So every other person in his entire tenure is only take. Oh wait, there was Michael Graves back in the day, but he doesn't count. Let's put it that way, that because that fight was way too far ago. But like even Jeff Neal took him down only once, and he's not a wrestler. Chiesa took him down once and he got knocked out. So I don't know if the takedown really. What is Themba? He had that good punch in the other fight where he knocked the fucking guy out. Was it Akiyama? I think it was, yeah, I think it was.
Uh,
But yeah, he it was. I was a good. I honestly think this is going to be a kickboxing match. I honestly don't think. I know Gorimbo has been doing some mad wrestling in his last few fights. Who was it? He got Nico Price 7 times, 5 times Brahimaj.
he just
Oh,
grinds you on the wall. He's so fucking boring.
yeah. But do you think he could really do that to Luque?
I
I
don't know.
don't. I don't. I think if Thumba Gorimbo is gonna win this fight, he's gonna have to outbox Vincente Luque. It's possible. Don't get me wrong. What I saw against Pete Rodriguez and what I saw against Takashi Sato, you know, he showed good striking then. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I This fight is a little bit of a I don't think he can take it down. I'm going with Vincente, and this
All
is a
right.
heart pick. I am going with Vincente. I think he's just
I think he's
overall
way
fighting
better in his
hard.
prime. I don't know if he's damaged goods or not.
Damaged goods is one thing when you're kickboxing. Damaged goods is another thing when he's trying to take him down. I don't know if he can take him down. I'm gonna go with Vincente and hold his 65% takedown defense, and hopefully it holds true because like I don't know, man. Demba's just relying on the wrestling and relying on the grappling. This is a real fighter that's coming at you. Maybe he has damaged goods. This is not like a big part of my life. I'm not parlaying the shit out of this. I might not even bet it. I might just watch it.
All right, next fight of the night. Again, a crazy prelim to me. This is an awesome fight. We got Anthony Smith plus 250 versus Dominic Reyes minus 334. Man, these are two guys where I actually hate both of them. Like I hate to sound like a hater. They're just two guys I don't really like, to be honest. I hate to come across like that. But I think Dominic Reyes absolutely knocks the hell out of Anthony Smith. I think Anthony Smith can win any fight that he can get to the ground. Any fight that he can get on top of you, he can absolutely tap you out. He's a veteran. He can grind. He can do all those things. But I think he wants nothing to do with striking these days. I think he's not as durable as he was. He doesn't like to strike. He does not want a war. He doesn't want any of that. I think Dominic Reyes is a big athletic guy. I do not think he's going to get taken down. I do not think there's going to be much grappling. And in a stand-up fight, I think Dominic Reyes absolutely knocks the hell out of Anthony Smith. I think Dominic Reyes is very susceptible to being knocked out by a power puncher, by any striker. But Anthony Smith is not a power puncher. He's not a striker. So I think Dominic Reyes starches Anthony Smith. I think it's pretty straightforward for me. And I got to wait for the props to come out, but I will be looking at the Dominic Reyes KO. What do you think?
I think the odds are too wide. I think the odds are way too wide. Just because Dominic Reyes knocked out Justin Jacoby after losing four fucking fights in a row, and then the odds are minus fucking 334. Give me a goddamn break. I mean, I know Anthony Smith isn't the greatest, but he's been going back and forth for years, and he's fought the best of the best of the best. And he's pulled out a couple of them, lost a few of them, like you know what I mean. So like, yeah,
He just loses to every striker, man. Like, I don't know.
yeah, but fucking fuck Dominic Reyes. But I can't see minus
I know, I know, I
minus
know.
334 after losing four in a row, and you just got a mediocre fucking Dustin Jacoby, and you knock him out. And yeah, I don't know. Like, fuck me. No, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
You can't bet it, but what about the pick? The pick still Smith for you?
Anthony Smith by submission.
Submission.
You know what? Fuck it. If you get a really good number on Anthony Smith by knockout, go for it. I don't give a shit. I'm
All
not picking Dominic Reyes in this spot.
right.
I'm not. I don't care. I'll pass the fight before I pick Dominic Reyes in a
All right.
spot where everybody in this mama thought he was washed one fight ago. And all of a sudden, because he knocked out Justin Jacoby, he has fucking relinquished his spot in the. No way. Not my one. Not, no, I just can't do it. Just
All right. Kicking off the main card. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe. We got Nate the Train Landwehr coming in at -138 versus Duho Choi +110. I think everybody kind of thinks that Landwehr is going to have to get through the fire for a round, and then they think that eventually he's going to get Choi down and kind of do what Nate does, win by second round stoppage or something like that. Always him with his comeback wins or whatever. I think Choi can knock Nate out personally. I like the underdog money on Choi. I thought he looked great against Bill Algio. I don't think Nate Landwehr is some incredible wrestler. I mean, he's a relentless fighter. Sure, I like his pace, whatever, all those things, but he's very hittable. And I don't know how many shots you can take like that. I don't know. I like Choi at plus money. Give me Choi, and I think I'll be looking at all the unders just to see what they come back at, because I don't see any way that this fight goes the distance. I think either way, somebody's going to get finished here. I think it's going to be a very fun fight. I think it's the opener on the main card for a reason. I think this will be a finish. Somebody's getting finished. So I'll be looking at the unders, but my initial thought here is give me the plus money on Choi, and I'll see what the knockout comes back at. What do you think?
Nate Landwehr only wins when he's an underdog. That's all I know. Yo, man only wins when he's an underdog. He's a favorite here, and it scares the shit out of me. Because when you think Nate's gonna win, he don't win. When you think Nate's gonna lose, he always wins. He's beaten some good guys. He's beaten a Darren Elkins. He's beaten Ludovic Klein. He's beaten David Onama. He's beaten Jamal Emmers.
Those are good wins.
Those are great wins. That's probably better than anything Duho Choi's ever done. And he looked good against Bill Algio, but we both knew Bill Algio had his little perks and had his little quirks that wouldn't might not work out here. One being that he's not a big, strong guy, and he can't muscle Duho Choi around. So this Nate Landwehr fight kind of reminds me of that Kyle Nelson fight that Duho and Choi had a couple fights ago. Kyle Nelson, a big, strong guy. If he didn't lose that point, does he win that fight? Probably. He took him down 5 times. I think something like that could probably come in here. It's a Duho Choi sports a fucking 47% takedown defense in his entire UFC tenure. He did have that big gap in his tenure, and you thought maybe he would have fixed it up in that gap, but no. I mean, Kyle Nelson came back and took him down 5 times. Kyle Nelson, big, strong guy. Nate Landwehr, big, strong guy. Now, and if Nate's dumb and doesn't want to employ any wrestling into this game plan, he may lose this fight. But if he wants to employ the wrestling, which I think he can, and he's done on several occasions, against David Onama, he did it. Onama's a big, strong guy, right? And he wore him down. So, as much as I don't want to pick Duo Choi, I think the smart pick here is to stick with Nate Landwehr in this spot.
All right. Next fight of the night. I'm not really sure why this is on the main card, but whatever. We got Bryce Mitchell -700 versus Kron Gracie +500. Gracie was absolutely atrocious last time we saw him. In fact, I don't really know the last time we've seen a good Kron Gracie. I mean, sure, he can submit someone if you have no grappling. But Bryce Mitchell is a great grappler himself. He's the way better wrestler, so he should never be on the bottom. And I mean, I think he probably just plays this safe and keeps it standing. I think this has potential to be a very ugly fight, very boring fight. I do like Bryce Mitchell, but I don't think this is going to be one of his more exciting fights. Give me Mitchell to win for sure, but I'm not playing him at -700. I don't see how Kron Gracie can submit him. I don't see how Kron Gracie can out wrestle him. I just hope it's not 15 minutes of like booing and this guy jumping and on the ground trying to entice him to jump in his guard or something. Like, I don't know. I hope this is not a snooze fest, is all I'm saying. It could be Bryce Mitchell decision. It could be Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell wins the fight in my opinion, but not playing it. What do you think?
Bryce Mitchell and over 1.5 will give you minus 275. That's probably the best value you're going to get on this fight. Should be Bryce Mitchell minus 6,000. Right? That's what the line should be. He's better everywhere. He's the better striker in this match. And that's gross to say. So anyway, I'm not gonna waste time on this. I think Bryce Mitchell wins 4 times over.
All right, next fight of the night, Cyril Gane, Alexander Volkov, the rematch. Obviously, Cyril Gane won the first fight. I think it was a complete shutout. Maybe one judge gave Volkov the first round or something like that. Either way, I think, yeah, I like Volkov. I prefer Volkov over Cyril Gane. Unfortunately, Cyril Gane is the exact kryptonite for him. He's a faster guy who just in and out, will not allow it to be in the box power striking, like a phone booth type of fight. So I just think Cyril Gane does the same thing. I don't really see what has changed here. I don't think there's going to be, I mean, is Volkov going to shoot takedowns? Maybe he should, but I don't think he will. So I think you're going to get a pitter patter point fight, which favors Cyril Gane. Until I see Cyril Gane lose a striking match, I don't think he's going to lose to Alexander Volkov, unfortunately. So give me Cyril Gane by decision. What do you think?
Still going by decision. I think it's going to just go the same as the first one. It's keep it in and out. He's going to be the faster striker. He's going to put down the more volume. And Volkov, he's the older guy, and Cyril Gane is the younger guy. And it's going to just, I feel like I watched that first fight over, and it was one guy gave Volkov round one, but I'm pretty sure it was a shutout, to be honest with you. I don't see anything different here. I got Cyril Gane by far. Probably one of the better picks.
Next fight of the night, we've got Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Machado Garry. The odds are too wide. I was hoping these would be a lot closer. Shavkat minus 400, Ian Garry plus 300. It's very tempting to play Ian Garry. Very tempting because Shavkat is very hittable. He's not the most active fighter. Like, there's just a lot of things. He hasn't maybe fought a striker. Well, he has. He's fought Neil Garry or Jeff Neal, whatever. Sorry. Either way, it's a fight where it is an interesting matchup. You don't like to see the odds that wide. It's tempting to play Ian Garry, but truth be told, I still think Shavkat Rakhmonov finishes this guy. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov is the way more durable fighter. So even if he's losing on points for a round or so, he's going to walk through it. He's going to crack Ian Garry at some point, probably knocks him down and chokes him out or something. But either way, this is not even I would feel more confident in Garry in a 3-round fight. This is a 5-round fight. I think Shavkat goes to 19-0, 19 finishes, just the more durable, dangerous guy. Ian Garry has to be perfect for 5 rounds. The only way he wins is by decision, in my opinion. Don't see it happening. Give me Shavkat to finish again. What do you think?
I want Shavkat to win, but these odds are fucking gross.
I know.
Honestly, I might lay a little tiny bit on Ian Garry because I don't. Ian Gary's not plus 300 here, I'll tell you that much. And he is a pretty good striker. And yeah, you hit all the points right with Shavkat and catching him and that all that good stuff. But honestly, I looked at Jeff Neal fight back over. Yeah, I don't know if he was winning every moment of that fight, to be quite honest with you. And he's known to give up rounds. So now if Ian doesn't put himself in the fire and he wants to just stay at range this whole time, he might win. So honestly, I want Shavkat to win, but I'm gonna take Garry on the money line because I think the odds are way too wide, and I'm making a play here on the money rather than the skills. So
I
there
get
it
I,
is.
I get it. It was tempting me too. I just think 5 rounds is a long time to avoid that pressure. Rachmanov is a
Yeah,
lot of
but
pressure.
Rachmanov too, that kind of gasses, man. He kind of gets slows down as the fight goes on. He wasn't as fresh as he was in that third round against Jeff Neal. And honestly, if that thing made scorecards, I wasn't 100% sure that Rachmanov would have pulled it out too either. So tough. Who knows?
All right. Main event of the night. Alessandro Pantoja minus 275. Kai Asakura plus 225. It kind of seems like a gift, to be honest, just based off the skill sets. I mean, Pantoja is a far superior grappler here, far, far superior. And he's not chinny. I mean, you could say he gets tagged a lot and hurt in every fight. I mean, that sure, you could say that, but he's not being KO'd. So it's going to be very, very tough for Asakura to win this fight, especially based off he has been taken down. I mean, there's just such a skill gap on the grappling. Like I don't know, man. I think the UFC actually wants Asakura to win. I actually think they do want that. I mean, why would they give the guy a title shot otherwise? And you know what? He's an exciting fighter in his own right. His highlight reel is fantastic, but who's he doing it to? I think this is too much. I think Pantoja is not some shit ass striker. He can hang. He's fought Manel Kopp. He's fought strikers. He's been in there. I don't expect him to get KO'd here. Sure, it's possible, but I think at some point they clinch up. At some point, Pantoja gets the back. At some point, he chokes him out. What do you think?
Manel Kopp actually knocked this guy out, Asakura too, back in the day.
He beat Manel Kopp once as well. They're one and
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. He's fought guys twice, like Horiguchi, knocked out by Horiguchi, but that was risen anyway. So no, I think Pantoja wins. I think he has the skill gap in the grappling. Yes, Asakura has got some power striking. Let me tell you, when he gets you up on the side. But like, if he's coming after Pantoja like that, you don't think Pantoja will shoot takedowns? Like the guy's known for shooting multiple takedowns in fights, right? Like we're talking about Pantoja 9 against Urseg, 8 against Royval, 6 against Moreno. Like, you know what I mean? Like these are the guys he's shooting takedowns on all the top echelon of fighters in this division. So I don't see a change in game plan here against Asakura. Is he going to be like, hey, let me strike with the power striker? Yeah, because that's no. If Pantoja's one thing, he's fucking very smart. We talk about fight IQ all the time. We talk about how dumb some guys are, how bonehead some guys are. But I'll give Pantoja some credit. And his striking isn't half bad. But I see him wearing this guy down with the wrestling and the grappling, and then letting his strike take over a little bit as the fight goes on. He might strike with him at points over like small periods of time, but I don't think early. I think early he's want to suck this guy's gas tank out real bad. You know what I mean? Because if you watch any of Asakura's fights, it's like he throws big hooks, big power punches to the stomach. Big. He likes to go body too, right? So Pantoja's got to watch that. I think that's a big thing here. Yeah, he can't get. He has an ironclad head, but we don't really has anyone really attacked him to the body, right? This guy attacks the body. If you watch any of his film, he attacks the body. So Pantoja, when he's got to protect the body, but I also think when this guy throws looping punches, it's a big opening for the wrestling. So yeah, minus 275. I'm gonna couple that with Gone and something else probably, and that's probably my play of the night. Maybe Bryce Mitchell because that's pretty much a given. I like Monster Evloev as well, so those are 4 picks that I really like. But that Evloev and Aljo fight, I think goes the distance is probably the best way to attack it, to be quite honest. So
All right, there you have it. There's our breakdown of the card. Prop bet this week or no?
we can try. I got a tight Thursday, but we'll see. We'll talk and we'll
All right,
drop it in the comments if we can.
yeah, we'll try to drop a video of our favorite bets. If not, we'll drop some comments. But let us know what you think. Let us know what you agree with, disagree with, any props that you're really looking at. And hey, I think it's a fantastic card Saturday night. Can't wait for it. We'll talk to you guys soon.